What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Nekwaya from Lipstick and Afros. If this is your first time stopping by, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. Today's video is a little different. It is a talking video, so I'm going to be doing a lot of talking. So definitely get some tea, some coffee, I don't know, some bubbly, like whatever floats your boat, because I'm going to be doing a little bit of talking and we're going to be learning in today's video. I'm going to be talking about concealers. Like, I feel like I've seen so many horrible pictures of concealer and like people just doing their concealer wrong, and I feel like I've done concealer wrong myself in the past. That's why I feel like it's only great that I also impart what knowledge I have learned. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about concealers literally from A to Z, just like what it's about, why the lighter shades, why the darker shades, like what is this thing called concealer. And I'm also going to be sharing with you guys my most used and most favorite concealers thus far. So first up guys, concealers. The first and like the basic purpose of concealers is obviously to conceal, so to hide what you don't want people to see, whether it's a blemish or a dark spot. Concealer can take that away, and the easiest way to do that, and like if you're a beginner, this is definitely the easiest way, at least it was for me, is to use a concealer that's the shade is to use a concealer that's the same shade as your skin tone. So for example, in my case, I would use this concealer, which is the shade Beautiful Bronze, and it's by LA Girl. It is a liquid concealer, so that essentially just blends out the dark spot or the blemish and just like makes it the same shade as the rest of your skin. However, sometimes that's not enough. Like, you can still see the blemish or the dark spot, and in those instances what you would do is you would use a color corrector. Now, a lot of people always get scared off by color correctors because they don't really understand what it is, but essentially color correcting uses the science of colors, like primary colors. So what you do is you use one color to cancel out another color. So basically, like, you know how when you were kids you'd mix, like, I think it's red and blue and you get purple, so something like that. So what you do with color correcting is that you have a color wheel, and with a color wheel, basically each color that's like opposite, I'll insert a picture here, it cancels out the other colors. So for example, green cancels out red. So if you have like a redness on your face, you'd use a green color corrector so that it can cancel out the red, so that when you apply, it cancels it out, neutralizes it, and so that when you apply your foundation, it doesn't show up as green or red, it's just neutral, so like your foundation is able to cover it. Similarly, for us darker girls, if you have like darkness under your eyes or like a dark spot, you'd use like an orange corrector, because that's what cancels out like darkness. And for myself, and that's what you'll see with a lot of darker skinned YouTubers or black YouTubers, they use orange or like peach colored correctors. I myself typically use this one. This is an orange color corrector, and it is by LA Girl. It is a liquid color corrector, and I'm just gonna swatch it for you guys. So that is what that orange looks like. It might look like a brown, but it just shows you how better the orange and the peaches are for our complexion. Alternatively, I'd use this NYX conceal corrector and contour palette in the shade Deep, and the shade that I use to correct is this orange peachy one here. It is a cream concealer product, and I'll swatch it for you guys as well. That's what it, so that's the top mark, that's the NYX one. This is the LA Girl one. So those are the products that I use to color correct. Obviously, depending on what you're trying to correct, that's what you'll pick, and obviously, like, if it shows up as red on your face, you'd use something different to what I would use. So now moving on to the concealer that everybody is trying to get into business with. Everyone wants to understand how this works, like what is it like they look so good. So this is the concealer that you use as a highlight, and essentially what it involves is taking a concealer that is 1 or 2 shades lighter than your own complexion, and using it to highlight the areas of your face where the sun would normally hit, like where the sun would naturally fall. So I don't know if you guys know, but like if you look at your face when you have no makeup on, there are different shades of it. Like under your eyes here is lighter and that kind of thing, and that's typically where the sun would fall. So those are the areas that you want to highlight. And also this kind of prevents your foundation from looking just flat. Like no one wants to, like it's not natural to have like a one color face. Like it doesn't happen. So that's why we use concealer. So you'd apply concealer 1 or 2 shades lighter than your own skin tone to those places, and typically they would be the under eye area, the forehead, down the nose, and of course the chin and the cupid's bow, depending on your preference. Now there are a number of products that you can use, and obviously the lighter you go, the more concealed you would look. I typically don't go 1 or 2 shades lighter than my own skin tone because I just feel like it looks overdone when you do it like too light. So I typically use, these are the 3 highlighters that I typically use. So this is the Kat Von D Lock-It concealer in the shade Deep 33. This one is the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade number 50. And then this is the ColourPop No Filter concealer in the shade Deep Golden 60. I'm also gonna swatch them for you guys just so you get an idea. Okay guys, so this is what I have on my hand, and I probably should use a brush. Okay, so this first swatch here is my Maybelline concealer. This one is the ColourPop one, and then this one is the Kat Von D one. And then over here is my foundation shade that I use. That is my perfect match. And so you guys can just see how closely related my concealer is to my foundation. Like it's never too far off, otherwise I just feel like you look crazy. So essentially with my concealer, what I really do is I apply it underneath my eyes just to brighten up my face and to just, you know, make sure that my face doesn't look one-dimensional. But I always make sure to just apply it, like I stop where my eye stops is where I stop as well, because I don't want my face to look too flat or like too long, because my face is already quite round. So I try and slim it down in any way that I can, and I find that when I blend out my concealer like this, my face looks like that, okay? Which is not cute, trust me. And then when I conceal down my nose, I literally start my concealer here and go up this way, because this part of my nose is already quite broad, so I don't want it looking any bigger. So the bottom part of my nose, I focus more on my contour as opposed to my highlights, because I don't want to make my nose look any bigger. Like I don't want to draw attention to my nose, because your girl's nose is not snatched. It's not, okay? So that's kind of what I do. And then I would also conceal my forehead. Now obviously if you have a Rihanna-esque forehead, you might want to focus on the contouring as well, just because you don't need to highlight it, sis. You really don't. There's really no need. And so sometimes I'll do my chin just because I do like how my chin looks when it's eliminated, but sometimes I don't mind either. I usually skip my cupid's bow just because for me it's not a necessary step, but those are the areas of my face that I would typically highlight. When it comes to highlight, of course, how you apply it and how you set it is super important, because I've seen pictures like this which are beyond scary, you guys. You always want to make sure that you set your concealer with a translucent powder or like a banana powder, but you also just have to keep in mind your complexion, because sometimes the banana powder doesn't always work. Not for us anyway. But in addition to that, you always want to do like a flash test, because these flashes, guys, they play us all the time. Like, you think you look cute until someone takes a picture and it's like, which grave did you rise up from? Like, it's insane. So you guys, you need to be careful. You always want to set your concealer with a translucent setting powder. And a trick that I find really makes my concealer appear flawless is that I don't blend it out immediately after I apply it. I used to do that, and I think it was Jackie Aina who said it, and I started doing it, and honestly, like, my concealer game has just never been the same. Like, I think when you let it sit, it really absorbs into your skin as opposed to just sitting on top of your skin, and so that when you're blending it out, you're just sliding it around, it actually absorbs into your skin and looks like it's a part of your skin. So yeah, guys, I think that's kind of all the important points that I did want to cover when it comes to concealer. Oh yes, before I forget, you also should take note that different concealers have different coverages. Like, for example, my Kat Von D, I feel like, is definitely more full coverage than my ColourPop and my Maybelline one. So if I'm going for a full-on, full glam, full coverage beat, then that's the one I definitely go for. These ones are definitely less coverage, but they do get the job done. So I can imagine that if you have like really, really bad dark under eye circles, you might want to go for something heavier and more full coverage. But I don't. I'm just looking for like the basic coverage most of the time, and these are the two that I stick to. Another affordable option is, of course, the LA Gold Pro concealers. The one I use is the shade Toffee. These are available locally at Dis-Chem. These concealers by Maybelline are also available at Dis-Chem, so if you guys want to try those out, you can definitely cop a few. Other than that, guys, I think I've covered the basis of concealers and what it is. Obviously, I don't think I need to do an application video because I apply concealer in all my tutorials. So if you wanted to see one, you could just watch a few of my videos, right? But yeah, guys, I definitely want to be doing a little bit more of these like educational type videos, just to share what knowledge I have learned, what tips and tricks that I know with you guys. If you guys are definitely interested or keen on me doing these kinds of videos a bit more, definitely let me know, and you can even drop your topics down below. Other than that, you guys, I will see you in my next video. Please make sure you're subscribed. I'd appreciate it so much. Definitely also give this video a huge thumbs up, and I'll catch you guys soon. Ciao.